Hello, civic students. I've got another project ready for you. So, this project is on political platforms. So, hopefully, you've done a little bit of research through that content exploration from last week. If you haven't, it is linked on the Canvas page for you to go back and look at some of those resources and just familiarize yourself with the general political atmosphere of the US. This project is all about really zeroing in on different political platforms and thinking about the different perspectives that the parties and individual candidates have of different topics that the government grapples with on a daily basis. And so your learning target is I can evaluate political platform viewpoints and establish my own by applying civic virtues and democratic principles in current event situations. So the two rubrics that we'll be using to assess you are the civic virtues one. So thinking about the application of civic virtues and democratic principles when working with others or thinking about the greater community, or even just understanding them sort of as a concept. And then explaining points of agreement and disagreement experts have about interpretations and applications of disciplinary concepts, in this case, political parties and ideas. And so your task is to research the party platforms for two candidates from the major political parties in the US across a list of 13 topics. So I figured it made the most sense to compare Nancy Pelosi, who is the House Minority Leader for the Democrats, and Kevin McCarthy, who's the Speaker of the House, as a Republican. If you would rather pick your own candidates for each of those, like if you'd rather compare, for example, Joe Biden and Donald Trump, you're welcome to adjust it. If you have a candidate in mind and you want to just check with me, that's fine. Or go with your gut there. But I did link Nancy Pelosi's party platform and Kevin McCarthy's party platform to give you a place to start. But again, if you would rather choose someone else, that is okay. Your next step will be identifying the most prominent civic virtues or democratic principles that are present in these platforms, and then create your own party platform. You could just pick 5 or 6 of the topics instead of all 13 and explain the civic virtue or democratic principle that's most important to you and like why you are choosing that priority for that given topic. So, the first thing I have here is just a list of civic virtues. So all these are really just values that people might choose to again prioritize or focus on when making a decision related to the government and our community. So there's just a whole big list here. You can also insert your own. Some of these might not fit either the platforms examples that I gave or there just are more. There are a lot of options here and a lot of different ways of approaching a topic. So I give a bunch of ideas, but don't feel limited by this list. So that's just there sort of as reference. The main step is researching the party platform. So I did an example here looking at infrastructure. Really, both of these platform, like on their website, focus specifically on transportation. And so that's mainly what I focused on in the bullets. I just kind of summarized what was included on each of their platforms. Some topics, as I note here, might have more info in one platform than another. Kevin McCarthy tends to have kind of a short blurb about each topic, whereas Pelosi has, more detail. That might vary. Again, if you choose different candidates, that'll be different. I also didn't look at every single topic, so it's possible there are some shorter ones here. But if you're having trouble finding enough information, let me know and I can always supplement with some more resources. But there's a whole long list of these here. You can quote from the platform if you want. You can do bullets like I modeled up here as an example. But the idea is really just that you want to be able to identify enough detail that you can compare across parties. So even when it comes to infrastructure, Democrats and Republicans are kind of on the same page, thinking about investing in infrastructure, creating jobs, and improving our roadways and bridges and things. Like they definitely agree on that. What I would say is probably the difference is Democrats have a little bit more of an environmental focus, might be a little bit more focused on public transportation, again, kind of feeding into that environmental focus. And Republicans have a little bit more focus on like the economic impact of these kinds of projects. So providing jobs. McCarthy in his platform also mentioned like, this idea of like responsibly using our tax dollars. So there's some like coded language as well that you might decide to note, you might not. But again, as long as you have enough information that you could kind of compare, that's what will help you when you go to list the civic virtues. If you can identify, what the main values are of each party, that will make it way easier. So putting enough detail here so that you can pinpoint those values, those virtues, will be helpful. And then you get to create your own political party. So I put a place to name your party. You can pick 5 or 6 and delete the rest. So if you're like, I really want to focus on immigration and education and foreign affairs and technology, you can delete the rest. So don't feel like you need to fill out this whole topic or this whole list, I mean. And then you'll write, I would say, you want to write at least, I don't know, 1 to 3 sentences explaining, like, so if you say for education, you're like, I want to make college free for everyone. You might say, something that is important to me is access to information and the idea that, the citizenry is all informed. This is important because like having higher education makes it so that more people have access to information and we can more easily make decisions because more people are informed on the issues. So just a short explanation here of like why you have this viewpoint will help show me that you can apply civic virtues and democratic principles within your own opinions. And then as far as the second one goes, really like, again, having enough information for each topic that you can compare the two sides. That's how I will be able to assess this. Now I'm thinking maybe I'll add a short question just summarizing the main differences. That feels like that will help make it more easy to get to that level 4. So I'll add a quick question real quick. Emphasis on the quick. All right, team. I hope that this was helpful explaining this project. I will see all of you on Tuesday for our small group at 10:05. If you have any questions before or after that, feel free to text me or email me, and we can either come up with a time to meet or I'll just answer your question through there. Hope you're all having a great week. Bye.